What's this week's Parsha? Oh, and what should we name it? Ta-da! Hello, welcome back. This is Parshas Vaera. So in this week's Parsha, Paro is confronted by Moshe and Aharon. That is one of the major parts of this week's Parsha. And we learn actually a very special lesson from the one of the first incidents that Moshe and Aharon spent with Paro. So in the story, the Torah tells us that they tried showing. They basically warned Pharaoh that Hashem's going to send God's going to send the makos, the plagues, and he was trying to show them. Moshe and I were trying to show Pharaoh that God's not someone you should mess with. And one of the things they did, they said Aaron took his stick and it turned into a snake, and Pharaoh's advisors, they took their sticks and they turned into snakes too, and just to show how they can do miracles as well. They have they know magic, whatever. And then the story goes on that Aaron's stick was able to then swallow up the other sticks from the Pharaoh's leaders. Now, it's funny because it doesn't say that Pharaoh's snake swallowed the others' snakes, right? It wasn't that Aaron's snake, because all the staffs turned into snakes. So it didn't say that Aaron's snake swallowed up their snakes. It says Aaron's staff swallowed their snakes, or something like that. So the point is that Aaron's snake turned back into a stick before it swallowed the whatever it was. So we use this as a way to teach us a lesson in our personal lives when it comes to influencing and trying to help other people or change other people in a positive way. But the word that's used is influence, in order to influence someone else. So when you want to influence someone else, it has to be, there's two ways you can do it. Either you can use the right hand, which is known as chesed, kindness. When you hug someone in, you draw them in. And sometimes you have a case where you need to be more of a strict type of manner, where it's not pulling in, but it's the left hand that pushes away. And sometimes maybe someone has too much ego, and you need to just swallow up that ego, so to say. And that's, when it comes to the left side, it's more pushing away, more of a severe, or more of a gevura type of connection to the person, not one of kindness, more of severity. There's two conditions that need to be done beforehand. One, we see that it was Aaron's stick. Now, Aaron his identity was one of going after peace. If it was between husband and wife, trying to solve their issues. If it was between two people, their fights, he would solve their issues. He was all about trying to use his chesed, his kindness, in order to solve other people's problems. So, first of all, in order to influence someone using the left hand, using severity, you have to be someone that's kol kulei. The person's entire identity has to be one of love. And when they approach this incident of influence on the person, it has to be out of love. And there needs to be, to make sure that the person's not trying to do out of hate. It's not like there's a little bit of revenge in them. They're trying to use influencing as a way to tell off the other person because they have something in them that's negative. Rather, it has to be completely helping out the other person because you really want to help them out, and not because you have something against them or you have something in yourself that you're taking out on them. It has to be the source of why the person is doing what they're doing has to come from a good place. Second of all, we see that it wasn't Aaron's snake that swallowed up the other snakes or staffs. It was when it turned back into a staff. Why? Because when a person does influence someone using the left side, using severity, it has to come not when the person's a hissing snake. A snake is poisonous and vicious, and it tries lashing out in venom, its heat. You can't try helping someone, influencing them with severity when the person is all riled up and you can't control yourself, and you just, you have you're steaming hot venom, and that's not the right place and not the right situation. That person should try influencing someone else. Rather, it should be like an inanimate object, like a staff, which is calm, collected, using their mind, their brain, and thinking what's the proper action. And only in that sense can that person actually affect the other person in in a positive way. So again, the two conditions are: one, you have to be a person like Aharon at that moment. You have to be someone who's trying to do it for the best of the other person. And secondly, you have to be calm and collected, and not like a heat and full of excitement type of snake that's vicious and excited. You have to be calm, collected, and in that way, you could actually affect change in the other person. Whether it's in the chesed way or in the gevur way, in the severity and kindness, you have to have these two aspects. You really should want the best for the other person, and you should do it in a calm and collective way. And that is the lesson we learned from the fact that Aaron's staff, his stick, was the one that swallowed the other snakes or sticks, and not when it was, and the fact that it was Aaron doing it and not someone else, because Aaron was a person who was all about kindness, and it's from that type of person is the one that needs to be able to swallow up the ego or the bad traits that this person had. Okay, thanks so much. I hope you understood that. If you don't, write a comment, ask a question, and hope to see you next time. Okay, bye.